bask in the power and glory that is my bedhead. It is the best bedhead ever, and it's magical, which is code for I didn't feel like showering before I made this, which I'll explain later. First off, happy Easter. I hope the Easter bunny came and took magical golden shits all over your lawn. I don't know why people say that the Easter bunny takes a shit on your lawn when it's clearly laying eggs. Eggs aren't shit. Eggs are like when a woman goes through their menstrual cycle. It's just something that happens. If they're mating, then it has a baby. If not, then you can just eat it. And it's chocolate, I guess. Whatever. My hair looks stupid now. Anyways, I just wanted to sit down and make this video in one take. Why? Because I had a really, really weird dream, and I want to remember as much of it as possible. I recently heard about this thing called lucid dreaming, which apparently if you memorize details of your dreams and you can focus on the difference between your dreams and reality, you can start to control your dreams. I have no idea if it's real or not. Well, you're supposed to keep a dream log. Like you write down different things that happen in your dreams. And I don't feel like writing. I hate writing. I don't know if I do it wrong or whatever, but my wrist starts hurting if I write a lot. So I'm just going to talk, and I think that's going to help me. Alright, first off, in the dream, I was supposed to get married. And weird thing is I actually know the girl. It's not a girl who I ever thought about being like romantically interested in or whatever. So it's not like some sort of fantasy that I have playing out and that I got to relive. It's someone who I know and I do think is awesome, but I never thought of them that way. And I guess it sort of played to a fear of mine, because a fear of mine is I'm supposed to be in a situation where I look nice and I don't. So, for example, you're supposed to have your... First off, it was like in a woods type setting, like it was in the wilderness. We were out like where there's trees and like mud and a swamp sort of thing. And last night I took a walk and I was sort of in an area like that. It wasn't quite muddy, but there were a lot of trees and it had that sort of swamp feeling where it was wet, there were bugs around. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but that was the setting for the dream. That was where I was getting married. And, you know, you obviously want to look sharp and clean, but you can't do that when it's muddy. You don't have indoor bathrooms too, so you can't make sure that your hair is pretty. My pretty hair, you know, I'm going to get married like this with my hairstyle just like this. You don't know how good it's going to look. You don't know how it's going to turn out. And, yeah, you know, I was just afraid that I was going to fuck it up. But I was also afraid that nobody was going to hear my voice or that I wasn't going to be passionate enough to express something. I don't remember what it was, but it was something. Like, I was afraid that nobody's going to know how I really feel about something. I'm not exactly sure what it was. But I remember there was some sort of difficulty, because in this dream, I was training to become like a geoscientist or a geologist, whatever you want to call it. But apparently this new aspect of technology was discovered, a new alternate source of energy, which basically comes from sound. For those of you who've watched the Pixar movie Monsters, Inc., it's basically the same thing. You can capture loud sounds, or in that movie, screams, and you can use that for energy. In this dream, you can go into a large, empty, resonant cave, shout or something, and then the echoes will go back and forth. You can capture the sounds and put them in the machine. They turn out to be energy, but the only problem is it has to be in a very specific type of cave, and in these caves, the walls break gradually, so you have to keep finding more. So it's kind of like a non-renewable source of energy. You have to keep finding more. One won't just last you forever. So I, for some reason, had to go find one. I was going to get married, like, the next day, but apparently they found a new cave, and they needed me to come and explore it. So I went to do that. I went inside, and there was, like, this, there were these, like, sludge-type monsters. They weren't like made of sludge, but it was maybe like a lizard type thing that was coming to attack me. I don't know why, but I don't know how many of you have ever heard the song by the Strokes called Reptilia. It has nothing to do with any of this, but when I see those things, I think of the name Reptilia. Those are reptilias. Look up that song, by the way. It's a great song. So, yeah, I went in to fight those things, and the funny thing is, I remember at that point, I didn't care about the wedding anymore, even though I knew I should have. And I started feeling bad about that because I didn't care about the wedding. So, I don't know how that made me feel, though. There was no point where I'm like, oh my god, I'm horrible. I'm not thinking about it. I just remember being like, oh, I should probably be thinking about this. That kind of sucks. That kind of makes me a bad person. And even waking up now, I don't know how I feel. It's really strange. So that's my dream. Did you like me talking about my dream, or was it just weird? I've done this once other time, and it was a much more somber, sad dream. But this was hopefully more interesting, or maybe it was just stupid and you're going to hate me and unsubscribe. If you want to do that, go ahead, but if you just hate it, I promise I won't do it much more, and I'll start writing my dreams down.